Hi, welcome. I'm Robin. For today's class, if you have a block, one or two, I just have one today, that would be good, and maybe a strap for some stretching later. We're going to get started on our backs. We're going to be working with our strength today using a block for our lower body especially. So lie down with the block in your hand nearby and come to one side, or you can lie straight down. Set the block to the side for a moment. Bend your knees, the soles of your feet on the mat. And just take a moment to notice how you feel here with the support of the earth. Feeling your long spine. Starting to focus on your breath. However you're choosing to breathe, in and out through your nose, or if that doesn't work, out of your mouth. Full conscious breaths. One more here. And perhaps set an intention for your practice. What brings you here today? Quiet your mind, strong body, whatever it is. And then take your feet as wide as the mat with your knees still bent, and windshield wiper your legs from side to side, moving the block as needed. I'm going to place mine over my head. And then pausing on the left with your knees over to the left. Feeling a nice stretch in the front of that right hip. Lift your right leg up just an inch. Circle it in towards your body and over towards the right as your legs get carried to the right. Pause here a moment, feeling the nice stretch in the front of your left hip. And then lift your left leg up just an inch away from the floor. Circle it with your knees still bent. Circle it in towards your chest and over to the left. Keep this going a little bit faster. Going from side to side. And you can keep your arms down by your sides or goalpost. Or you can add the arms in a sweeping motion. So if you're over to the right and you're lifting your left leg, lift your left arm, sweep it over your head and over to the left. And then when you're over to the left, it's your right arm that moves, or however feels good. Just warming up through the joints. Noticing your core pull in. One more time each side. And then find your way back to center. Grab your block and place it, I'm using the narrowest width, in between my inner thighs, but you might choose the middle width or the widest width, depending on your body. Okay, so with your feet flat on the floor, in a bridge pose position, ankles underneath your knees, your arms down by your sides. Squeeze the block, press into your feet, lift your hips up, bridge pose. Lower your hips down. Inhale, lift your hips up. Exhale, lower your hips down. Keep this going. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 5 more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Getting that long spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lots of space around your neck. Wide chest. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Hold it up. Inhale. And then little pulses at the top. Lifting your hips up and down just about an inch. Engaging through your glutes and your hamstrings. Your arms can rest by your side, or you can lift your press your elbows down, lift your forearms up as if you had robot arms. Good. Squeezing the block for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down. Keep the block there, but lift your shins parallel to your mat. Scoop in your belly without tucking your tailbone under. Keep your hips neutral, but scoop in the belly. And press your hands into your thighs, maybe as if you were cupping your knees with your hands. As you're squeezing the block and pressing your thighs away and your thighs into your hands. Full breaths here. My elbows are straight. If it's not comfortable to have your arms up there, you can bring them anywhere along the legs, even if it means bending. My feet are flexed, but you could choose to point your feet or alternate between the two. Really notice your core nice and engaged here, protecting your back. As you take full breaths. Working the deep core. 3 more breaths. 2. And 1 more. Good. Lower your feet back down to the mat. Bridge pose position. Inhale, peel your back up, come to bridge. Pause here. Your arms can hold onto the edges of your mat, or you can snuggle your shoulders underneath you a little bit more and clasp your hands underneath, or go back to the robot arms. Find a position where you feel like you could press down and lift up, hugging into your center. And breathing. Feeling like you can lift up through your pelvic floor muscles every time you exhale. Softening around your face. You've got it, just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, lower all the way down, maybe slower than you would like to. You can lift your heels up if that works better. All the way down to the mat. Thighs vertical, shins parallel again. You can repeat what we just did previously, holding on to your legs, pressing in, isometric contraction. Or this time, you can take your arms down by your sides. Lower your heels down towards the mat. That doesn't have to touch. Keep your back on the mat, and then inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down towards the mat. Inhale, lift. 3, 4, exhale as you lower. 5, hugging into the block. 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more time. Good. And then lower your feet down. Coming back to bridge, so setting it up. Peel your back up, inhale into your bridge, maybe snuggling your upper arms underneath you, your chest nice and wide. And breathing. If it feels okay, maybe lifting your arms up over your head so that the backs of your hands touch the earth or the floor behind you, over your head. Nice neutral neck, keeping the natural curve in your neck. And if your arms don't reach down, that's perfectly fine. Just find your edge or keep them in goalpost or down by your sides. 5 more breaths here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down, your arms down as well. Good. Remove the block, set it to the side. Bring your thigh bones vertical and your shins parallel again to the mat. This time we're going to lower one heel at a time. So you're scooping in your belly, protecting your back, feeling that engagement in your center. You're going to lower your right heel down as you exhale and your left arm over your head, or keep your arm down. Inhale back. Exhale, left leg, right arm. Inhale, center. Keep alternating side to side. Exhaling to reach away and inhale to come back. Moving at your breath pace. Not arching in your back. We're going to be coming up to the all fours next. One more each side. Good. Then hug your knees into your chest, rock a little side to side. Take a happy baby pose here, holding on to the bottoms of your feet or behind your thighs. Just getting some opening after all that adduction work, hugging in of our inner thighs. And then bring your knees back together. Start to rock forward and back. We're going to be coming up to a seat, to all fours. If it works better, lie to one side and come up. Or get some little momentum. Massage your back if that feels good. Being careful of your neck. And come all the way up. Cross your ankles and come to all fours. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, long spine. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift your tailbone, pull your heart forward, cow pose. Exhale, round, chin to chest. Inhale, open. One more exhale. And inhale. And then find your neutral. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees. Feel that core that you just have been working. And then start to send your hips up and back. Down dog. You could do this with bent knees, or you can slowly pedal your heels or straighten your knees. You could shake your head. And find that long spine. Nice stretch in the backs of your legs. One more breath here. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. So you're going towards the back of the mat. You can keep your knees bent, or you can have straight knees. Fold here in ragdoll. You can grab opposite elbows and sway. Feel a nice release for your back. If it's not comfortable to have your head down, come to a half lift position instead and work on lengthening your spine. And then release your hands and start to roll up one vertebra at a time. Your knees bent. And then maybe starting to straighten your legs as you come up higher. Pressing into your feet, sweeping your arms up. Lower your right hand to your right hip. Take a side bend. Inhale to center. Left hand, left hip, side bend. Inhale to center, exhale, fold. Your arms can be wide or they could be close in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk out to plank. Walk in the plank. So your feet can be together or hip distance apart like you have for down dog. Pressing the floor away. Scooping in that belly. And steady breath. You can do this on your knees here as well. Another inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Good. Goal post your arms. Press into your toenails. Inhale, lift your chest up. Like a little cobra with your goal posted arms. Exhale, lower. Again, inhale, lift up your chest. Maybe your legs here too, finding that long spine. Exhale, lower. One more, inhale. with your legs up or down, maybe sweeping your arms back behind you, opening up wide through your chest. You can clasp your hands here, or you can keep your arms separate or grab your strap. Another inhale, and exhale, lower down. Take your hands by your low ribs so that your wrists are underneath your elbows. Press into your feet, pull your belly up away from your mat, and lift up. Little cobra, or up higher for cobra, or even up dog. Exhale, down dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Another big breath in. And big breath out. And then come to your knees and grab your block. And place your left hand on the block and your right hand on the mat so that you're staggered here. And then from here, scooping in your belly, squeeze your right seat and lift your right leg up with your knee bent as if you were going to stamp the ceiling. Pausing here, feeling the extension in the front of the right hip, drawing your shoulders away from your ears, your gaze straight down or a little bit in front. Then start to take little lifts, squeezing that right seat. You could tent up on those left fingers that are on the block, or even lift the left hand up completely, maybe touching your right shoulder. So you're squaring your hips to the mat, engaging that right glute, hamstring. So you take little lifts. Good. And then hold it up, hold. Straighten the leg, point the toe, bend. Straighten, point the toe, bend. One more, straighten, point the toe, bend. Good. Now turn the block so that it's horizontal on your mat. Lower your forearm down. Open your hip to the right. So now you're feeling it in the side of your seat. And take little lifts from here. So the block is just getting me up a little bit higher. You can do this without a block if you don't have one. And your right toes can be pointed, or you could flex the foot instead. Now hold it up and circle back and around. And this could be small or larger. Really squeezing the side of the seat. Good. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Give your seat a pat and let's switch. So now the block is under your right hand. Setting it up. Lift your left leg up from the inner thigh so that your hips are square to the mat. Your neck is nice and long. You're scooping in your belly. Finding that length in your spine. You could also put some padding under the right knee if that works better. And then from here, you're going to take little lifts of that flexed ankle as if you were going to stamp the ceiling. Good. So trying to keep your weight centered. The block is helping us with this. You can tent up on your right fingers that are on the block, or you can lift your hand away completely, maybe bringing it to your left shoulder. Good. You got it. Little lifts. Squeezing that seat. Got a change coming up in 4, 3. You're going to hold it up in 2 and 1. Hold, hold. Straighten, point the toe. Bend. Keep the toe pointed. Straighten and bend. 1 more. Straighten and bend. Good. Now turn the block. Lower your forearm down. Open up the leg to the left like a doggy on a fire hydrant. And then start to lift from here. So you can keep your neck nice and long here. You can look down or you can look over your left shoulder. So you can see your knee in your periphery. Squeezing into the side seat with your foot flexed or pointed. Good. Seeing how that feels, trying to keep your weight centered. You're going to hold it up in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and circle. Circling back, small or larger. Maintaining the stability in your hips, not rocking all around. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Give your seat a pat. Good. Set the block to the side. Come to down dog. Find that long spine. Stretch out through your shoulders. Maybe bend and straighten your legs. And then walk your hands again back towards your feet, back to the back of your mat and hang. With your knees as bent as you need here. Keep your left hand down. Take your right hand to your right hip. Turn and twist to the right. Maybe lift the right arm up and look at your thumb. Both knees could be bent, or you can just bend the left leg and straighten the right leg. Feeling a nice stretch on the side of the leg. And then lower the right hand down and switch. Left hand to your left hip, turn and twist to the left. Maybe lifting the arm up, both knees bent, or maybe straightening that left leg. And then exhale, lower that down. Again, roll up nice and slow, articulating through your spine. Feeling those 12 vertebrae, the thoracic spine stacking up. And then the 7 of your cervical spine. Good. Until you're all the way up to stand, reach your arms up. Lower your right hand down, take a side bend. You can keep it on your hip instead if that felt better. Inhale back to center, side bend to the left. Inhale to center, exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, walk out to plank. Good. Pressing the floor away. Head in line with your spine. Lower your right knee to the mat. Swivel your shin to the side. Peel your left arm up. Side plank with your knee down. Or you can stamp that left foot down into the mat. Lift that right knee up. Rotating this right tricep in towards your body, your bicep forward, so that you're strong in the shoulder. You can also kick that right leg forward, maybe tap the toe with your hand. And then lower the knee. Let's do the other side. Come to plank. Lower your left knee, swivel your shin. Peel your right arm open. You can stamp that right foot down. Use your belly to lift your left knee up off the mat, maybe. Stay here or straighten that left leg, maybe touch the toe. Find your balance. And then lower back down, come to plank. Lower all the way to your belly. Grab the block. Place it in between your inner thighs. A little awkward to do in this position. So that I have the smallest width in between, but you could change that so that your inner thighs are again hugging in. The block is sticking up away from your body so that it's flat, flush with the mat. And then from here, straighten your arms in front like super person. Scoop in that belly. Lift your arms, lift your legs. Maybe little swims here as you hug in. If it doesn't work with the block, remove it. For 10, 9, 8, 7, long spine, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, hold up. Goal post your arms, lower your legs. Breathe here in your back bend. And then lower all the way down. Take your hands into cobra position by your ribs, your floating ribs. And lift up, hugging the block, low or up higher. And then exhale, down dog with the block there. Walk your hands about a hand print closer towards your feet. Take the block and slide it on the middle width in between your shins instead, so that your shins are hugging in. Maybe you're even widening a little bit in your upper legs as you widen through your sitting bones, and your knees can be bent here or straight. Press into your right hand, lift your left hand, take it to your right ankle or your right shin. Look under your right armpit in a twist. Lower the left hand and switch. Looking through the bunny hole, feeling that twist in your spine. And then back to center. Keep walking your hands back towards your feet, back of the mat. Remove the block. Take your peace fingers around your big toes, Padangusthasana. Inhale for length, exhale, fold. Bend your knees as much as you need. Big breath in. Big breath out. Again, big breath in. And big breath out. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, take your block. And inhale, come all the way up. Good. Walk to the front of your mat. Take the block in between your inner thighs on either the middle width or the smallest width. That's what I prefer. Feet right underneath your hips, coming into some chair squats. Send your seat back, reach your arms forward or up or goal post. Exhale, stand. Inhale, exhale, stand. keep going. Working our legs, working our glutes, lubricating through our shoulders if we're moving our arms. So we engage that core, that inner support. Two more. One more. And then come to chair and fold. Squeeze the block, squeeze the block, squeeze the block. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Now this might be a little bit tricky, but you're going to make your way to a plank pose with the block flush here in the front, sticking out through the back, just like what we did on our belly. So you can take little steps back, or you can hop it back, bend your elbows, lower all the way down to your belly, pausing in plank first and then lowering down, or going right to chaturanga. Okay, good. Take your hands by your low ribs, peel up, cobra or up dog, squeezing the block. Exhale, down dog. Big breath in, big breath out. Walk your hands a little bit closer so that you can remove the block and set it towards the front of your mat and come back to your down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up high behind you, three-legged dog. And on your exhale, draw your knee in towards your chest, shoulders over wrists. Step your foot right through. So you're in a low lunge, drawing that right hip crease back. You could take that block and place your left hand on the block. Right hand to your right hip, turn and twist to the right. Your left knee could be down, or you can keep it up. Opening up to the side. Another inhale. And exhale, lower the right hand down. Now take that right hand on the inside, on the block or not. Plant your left foot down. Peel your left arm up, just like we did with our side plank, but now we're in side angle. So you could stay low here, or if you prefer, you can come up to your forearm. Maybe sweeping that arm over your ear, getting a big stretch. Revolving your ribs to the left. Opening up through that right hip, one more breath. And then inhale, come up, warrior two. Good. Straighten your front leg. Maybe shorten your stance, bump your left hip left. Reach, 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 and hinge. You have the block right here. You keep it on the inside or the outside of the foot. You could stay right here, or left hand to your left hip. Look down at your right big toe. Put a bend in that knee. Glide forward. Half moon. Finding your balance. Hand under shoulder. Maybe lifting your left arm up, turning to the left. Maybe bending your knee in the air. Keeping your left toes, your right toes facing forward. Finding your inner strength. Where do you want to go? And then slowly make your way back. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, hands down to the mat. And flow. Or go right to down dog. All right, other side. Inhale, lift your left leg up. On your exhale, bring the knee into the chest, shoulders over wrists, and step your foot through. Pause in your low lunge. You can place your right hand on the block or without. Take a twist to the left. Bumping your right hip to the right and drawing that left hip crease back. Maybe lifting your left arm up, opening up through your chest. Feeling a nice stretch in the side of our seat that we were working strong earlier. Another inhale. Exhale, lower that left hand down. Bring it on the inside of that left foot. Plant your right foot down, heel to arch alignment. You take your right hand to your hip or your low back. Turn your chest into side angle, maybe lifting your right arm up or over your ear or coming up higher if that works better for your body. Slow and steady breaths. I love this stretch all along the side body, especially when my arm is over my ear. And then inhale, rise up, warrior two. Find your stance, soften your shoulders. Good. Straighten your left leg. Maybe bring your foot in, bump your right hip to the right, reach, 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 and hinge. Finding your triangle pose, lengthening through the torso, maybe looking up or looking down. You could stay here the whole time or come to half moon pose, taking your left hand about a foot in front, lifting up. Squeezing that right seat. You turn to the right. You can bend the leg in the air and catch the foot. See what works for your body. Where can you breathe? And then slowly make your way back, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step back and flow. Big breath in. And big breath out. One more. And then look forward to your hands and step or hop forward. Take a half lift and fold. Heel toe your feet about 2 fists apart. Grab your block. If you have it, bend your knees. Utkatasana, squat with the block. Maybe coming a little bit lower this time. Taking little pulses. Knees track with the center of your feet. Squeezing the block for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Maybe sweep your arms back behind you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand all the way up. All right, great work. We're going to do one more standing balance. I'll face you. So you can stand on the block if you choose, or you don't have to use it. We're going to do Vrikshasana tree pose. So take your left leg and stand on the block. Notice how this feels, how this changes for you. And then you can keep your foot grounded and open your hip. If this is too much, you can remove the block also. Or you can take your right leg up to your inner thigh. Find your drishti. Feel so much taller. I'm only 5 feet. Squeeze those outer seat muscles. Maybe grow your branches up, out to the side. Maybe interlace behind your back. Hugging in your outer hips. Just the wobbles. If it's too much, come off of it or lower the leg down below your knee instead. And then bring your hands back to prayer and release. All right, shake that out. It's more work for the little muscles in your ankle, so we're building strength around there as well. All right, other side, see how we do. First pause, standing on the block underneath your right foot, not locking out through the knee, but lifting up tall through the center line. And then open the hip. You can stay down. You can slide up to your lower leg. Avoid pressing on your knee, or come all the way up to your inner thigh, pulling in that belly. Finding your focal point. Finding your arm variation. And breathing. And then bring your hands back to prayer. The knee comes forward and carefully step down. Good, shake it out. Notice all the muscles that you awakened in your body today. All right, so from the top of your mat, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold in half, hinging at your hips. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Take your feet as wide as the mat with your heels slightly in and your toes out, and come to a squat. So you can stay up here, pulling your heart forward, widening through your sitting bones, or you can lower down. You can also sit on your block here. Feeling a nice stretch in your inner thighs. We worked so hard. 2 more breaths. If you want more, you can practice a crow pose here instead, or you can use the block as a perch. I'll put a link in the description box to one of the videos that shows that. All right, good. Another inhale. And exhale, make your way back to down dog. You can go through a flow, or you can just step right back. Notice how this down dog feels. Another inhale. And exhale, lower your knees to the mat. Grab your block. Place it in between your inner thighs so that you're pulling and you're on your knees. You can put a blanket under your knees here too, or roll up your mat. Okay. So pull up and in, and your shins are parallel to one another. The tops of your feet are on the mat. In one piece, you're going to lower down and then inhale, lift back up. Your hands can be in prayer here or reaching forward. Lift back up. Lower down. Inhale, lift up. If it's too much for your knees, don't do it. Lower down or decrease the range of motion. Lower back up, lift back up. 2 more, lower down. Lift back up. I'm not hinging at my hips. I'm tall spine, lower down and lift back up. Good. Keep the block there so that you're hugging up through the midline. Take your hands to your back. Lift your chest. So your hands hugging your elbows in. Your hands can be however feels best for your wrists and your fingers. Your fingers can point down, your fingers can point up, they can point to the side. Find that length in the low back as you lift up through the heart space, a baby back bend. You can drop your head back, but only if that feels okay for your neck. And you could stay here, or you can reach your arms back behind you, maybe clasping your hands. Or you could tuck your toes and reach for your heels, keeping your thigh bones vertical as much as possible. Into a camel pose variation. One more breath. Wherever you are, squeeze the block. Inhale, lift back up. Take the block, if you can get it out from in between your legs, and place it in between your shins and sit down on the block. Or if you don't need to use it, you don't have to have it there. And you can change the height as needed. Just pause, feeling all that beautiful energy that you cultivated there in that back bend. Using the strength of your legs and your core, your glutes. Maybe taking one hand to your diaphragm and one hand to your heart. My microphone is there. And just feeling into your body, maybe closing your eyes. Coming back to what is important. It's not about the pose. How do you feel? One more breath. Good. And then lift up to move the block. Come to a seat and lie all the way down on your back, just like we started. If you have a strap, grab it and bring it close by. Take the block again in between your inner thighs. It's not for strengthening. Don't worry. We're going to take a twist here. So hugging into the block, hugging into your core, you just shift your hips just a little bit over to the right and lower your knees to the left. And if it doesn't work having the block there, you don't have to have it there. Sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of space in between the thigh bones in this twist. You could reach your right arm out to the side and look over your right shoulder. And your left hand can hold on to that top leg, your right leg, or it could be in goalpost or out to the side. Just feeling that nice twist here. Softening around your shoulders. Feeling a nice gentle stretch in the side seat. And then slowly inhale, come back to center. And we'll do the other side. Shift your hips a little bit to the left. Lower your knees to the right. Maybe you can try to line up your knees here. And you can open up your left arm. You can look to the left. And seeing what is possible, feeling a gentle stretch and twist as you begin to soften. After all the strength work, balancing it out, some flexibility, some stretch, some mobility. Some quiet and ease. And then slowly come back to center using your core. Good. Remove the block. Keep your knees bent. Bend your right knee in towards your chest. Take the strap, if you have it, around the ball of that right foot. And then start to straighten the leg any amount, flexing the ankle. Keeping your hips level, your belly pulled in to support your back without tucking under your pelvis. Nice neutral spine. And you can keep your left leg bent, or you can straighten it down towards the mat. So both feet are flexed. You can anchor your left hip down with your left hand and open your right leg to the right. Any amount, the leg could be bent or straight. And then inhale back to center. Take the strap in your left hand if you're using it, and take your leg to the left. You can roll onto your left side. You can bend your knee if that works better. Coming into a different twist than the one we just did. Maybe a little bit of a deeper stretch in the side of the seat in the IT band. And then inhale, slowly come back to center. Maybe lift your head and shoulders up. Using your core, not so much the pulling and the neck, but your core to lift you up. And then lower your head and release the strap, lower your leg. Just pause and notice if your right leg feels longer than your left leg. And then bend both knees, and we'll do the other side. Bend your left knee into your chest. Take the strap around the ball of your left foot. You could stay right here, gently stretching the back of your left leg, leveling your hips, pulling in your belly, not arching or tucking your pelvis, but nice neutral pelvis. And if you want more, you can straighten that right leg if you can keep your spine neutral. And then with your hand anchoring down your right hip, open your left leg to the left any amount. You're not in competition with anyone, not with yourself either. Just see where your body wants to go. And inhale the leg back to center. Switch hands on the strap. Take it across your body. It could be small. You could stay small, or you can roll onto your right side. Make this a larger movement. You can open up your left arm to the left. Feel the twist and the stretch. Knee bent or straight. One more breath. Then inhale the leg back to center. Maybe lift your head and shoulders up, feeling that core. And then exhale, lower your head and your leg. Notice how you feel in your body. Take any final stretches here. You can hug your knees into your chest and rock side to side. You can take happy baby, extending and bending your legs maybe, or an inversion if you would prefer. butterfly your legs for your Shavasana. Whenever you're ready, no rush. Take another 5 breaths in whatever position you are doing. And whenever you are ready, find your way to Shavasana if you're not there already. If you have 2 blocks, you can place them under your knees. If you just have one, you could place the one under both knees perhaps, or don't use it. Just find a place where you're comfortable, where you can melt into your mat. Feel that release. Just watching your body. Quiet mind, quiet body. Your Shavasana. And you're welcome to stay here as long as you need. The beauty of home practice, you could press pause. But if you're ready to come back, maybe take a big stretch. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. And then roll to one side, moving any prop out of your way. Taking a moment to pause, to connect. And then press yourself up to a seat. You can sit up on your block, or you can sit however you choose, legs straight, crossed on your shins. Find your long spine. Feel your strong body. Take your hands to your heart. Thank you for being on this journey with me today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Let me know in the comments how you enjoy the class, what other props you would like to use, anything at all. Subscribe, thumbs up, and I hope to see you for the next class.